Hello, this is Bug Powder Dust, and thank you once again for joining me for another World of Tanks video. Today's video is going to be all about the French Somua S-35 CA tank destroyer. I don't know a lot about French tank destroyers, I have to be honest. Tank destroyers is not something I've spent much time in myself. I have ground up the German tank destroyer lineup to and including the Ferdinand. Didn't really enjoy the Ferdinand and stopped there. I did, however, enjoy the Jagdpanther and the Hetzer. Now, the S-35CA is a Tier 5 French tank destroyer, and let's face it, the first thing that strikes you when you see this thing is that it's ugly. It's not the best looking tank in the world. It has been given the nickname the Bathtub for obvious reasons. It's not that fast, as you'd expect just from looking at it. It's not that agile. It's open topped, which means that it's extremely vulnerable to HE fire. Getting one-shotted by artillery is a very real issue in this vehicle. So those are the bad things out of the way. The good things is really, let's take a look at the research tree. You start off with this kit as stock, as you'd expect. Now, a 17-pounder gun is actually very, very good. You look at this. 144 penetration average, 135 average damage, 0.35 accuracy. It's very accurate. 1.7 seconds aiming time. It's pretty good there as well. Bearing in mind that these stats are similar to the L70 gun on the Panzer IV, which is shortly going to be nerfed. So this tank is very capable right off the bat of kicking out some serious damage at a reasonably accurate rate level and a very good rate of fire. Now, you take a look at the next gun up the tree, or the next two guns up the tree. You've got the 105 and you've got the 90. Let's put these side by side. The 105, you can fire almost 3 times as quickly. Definitely got more penetration, good 20mm, that's always very welcome. And the average damage is 2.5 times more. I think I've had a maths fail there. It's actually 2.2 times as much as the 17-pounder. Accuracy, much less accurate, much more aiming time, weighs a damn sight more, so this vehicle's going to get even more slow. 90mm. Rate of fire is just under half of the 17-pounder. The penetration is less. That's really unwelcome as far as I'm concerned. You know, you've got a gun that can do more damage, over 105 more damage, but it's less accurate, but its penetration is less. No, why? That's just horrible. To me, that makes no sense at all. So really, it's between these two guns. Now, at this tier, in my experience with this TD so far, and with tiers in general, is that you're facing tanks which are fairly mobile. There's none of this kind of tier 9, tier 10, quite static slug-a-thon going on. There's a very real risk of you getting run at and overrun by medium and light tanks, even some heavies, for instance. So to me, getting off another shot as quickly as you can as you're being overrun, maybe tracking that vehicle, maybe putting in a killing shot, that's really important. I've tried the 105, I have unlocked it as you can see, I've tried the 105. When you hit, it does great damage, but it's really flaky, and to be honest, I'd rather have almost 3 times faster rate of fire on the 17-pounder than this fire and then wait for a very long time for it to reload. So I've been going with the 17-pounder. Your mileage may vary, of course, but that's the gun for me. If you do unlock the 105, it's no bad thing, and I recommend you do unlock it anyway, because the next tank, the ARL V39, does use that 105 gun, and from what I've been understanding and hearing, this is the gun of choice on this tank, despite the better abilities of the 90mm. Can't comment on that because I haven't quite got there yet. Let's have a quick look at the details on the side here. Engine power, 260 horsepower, not great. It's not that heavy, but power to rate ratio isn't brilliant. Speed limit, once it gets up to speed, it's kind of okay, but you're in a tank destroyer, you're not going to be spending much time moving around, so that's really not that big a deal. Traverse speed is alright, it's not great. Hull armour, 56mm at the front, 35 at the sides. Trouble is, it's flat-sided, as you can see, so that's really bad. However, one saving grace is that it has a really big gun mantlet, and added to that, it's got really, really good gun depression. Unusual for a French tank, it's fantastic. So if you're poking up over a hill or a rise of some sort, almost over half of what you can see is taken up by the gun mantlet, and that gun mantlet is thick. It can eat shells quite nicely. I'll show you in the videos that you can see shortly that it does absorb it quite nicely. Also, you've got no commander hatch to shoot at, so that's not a vulnerable part of the vehicle. And what's good here is also it can turn the gun angle the gun to the right very nicely. So if you're attacking from this side, you can hide behind wrecks or whatever and only expose a very limited part of the vehicle, and it will be angled as well. So that's really good. So that's a quick overview of the Somua S-35 CA. I actually quite like it so far. It's unusual for me to like the French vehicles. They don't seem to suit my style of play, but this actually is quite good fun. My crew was 75%. I've actually bumped the commander up to 100 to increase the XP that the others earn by using the mentor skill. It does tend to help an awful lot. I've equipped the the camo net for obvious reasons, and the gun rammer just to speed up that already very good rate of fire. So enough about that. I'm going to show you two videos now, one in which I got Top Gun and the other one which is very tense and shows you that if you want to play the TD aggressively, it can actually be done very well if you pick your battles carefully. Enough chat, on with the video. This is a game on steps. It's a tier 5 game. They've gone in for an early cap opportunity. It's an encounter mode of battle. So we're pushing over to the left. Most of our tanks have either gone centre or on the left hand flank as you look at it. Quick shot against the T-50. Quite lucky I was moving. Managed to finish him off very quickly. Keep moving. Acutely aware they've got artillery, quite a lot of artillery, 4. And artillery always love tank destroyers. See the Panzer IV up there, and this is you'll get an idea of what the gun depression is like here. So moving up the ridge. Didn't really aim very well, but he had his turret angled. So I'm not going to follow him all the way up to the top, especially not when there's that tank destroyer there and quite a few other tanks. But going to back down. Going to the side on the left here. They're obviously all keen to cap, so need to do something about that. Just peek carefully around the corner. I do have a KV-1 with me, but that's about it. Just the two of us. So I get a smack from the Panzer IV. 113 damage. And you notice there I bounce his return shot. I believe that was eaten by the mantlet. We'll check that in a minute. Go for the cupola, but the shot hits the ground. The KV-1 to the left of me is doing a good job. Take a shot at the distant Panzer III, but the gun's not really that accurate. You can see from the front there I've actually got a mantlet hit, and also the hit below that where I took damage. Still just the two of us. Got a Su-85 I believe going wide and round to the right. See a tank destroyer up there. Seeing as he's sat in the open, gonna punch him for that. KV-1 hits the same target. Hit 3 Lee. Really not very clever. So myself and the KV-1 are actually working quite well, even though we're not on TeamSpeak or anything. The Su-85 just rolls into the middle of them. I don't really know why he did that, but he distracts them long enough for me to get in a couple of hits for free. One does damage, the other one bounces. It's not a lot you can do with the KV-1s with an inaccurate gun. Just got to hope you hit their weak spots. That stug bothers me. This KV-1's really soaking up the damage. I suspect the artillery's all firing at him. So far I've been lucky, I've not picked up too much damage. As you can see, the gun actually refires pretty quickly. If I was with the 105, this would be a very different sort of video. Could do more damage admittedly, but certainly a lot more slowly. So as a result, this is I think the better gun. Still get a splash from a near artillery miss. That siren works very well. It's very pressurising. I can't use that that hill. I'll be at the wrong angle. I don't have enough depression, so I'll move around to utilise the KV-1 wreck there. Try and finish off this stug once and for all, because he's going to cause me real problems. So again, using the nice right-hand traverse of the gun, I use the rec and just peek my nose out. As you can see, it traverses very nicely to the right-hand side. This KV-1's going to be a real problem for me. I'll make a little bit of a mistake there, as I have to twist the chassis around. So far, so good. Again, I bounce a hit. And punch a hit to the KV-1. His return misses. Thinking I might be able to get lucky here, so move up a bit further. But, oh, we take a massive smack and I've got almost no hit points left now. So really there's not much I can do here. I can keep popping in and out. But the inevitable happens and I get killed by artillery. We go on to win the game. Our artillery, in conjunction with our remaining tanks, they work together very well. We actually win. Good game. So the next game is on Murovanka with the Magic Forest. I decided that I'm not going to be too aggressive this game. This was actually one of my earlier games with the S-35. I push up to support the right hand side there. Take a few pot shots. See that the gun can be a little bit temperamental sometimes. Plus I think I was aiming slightly high. If I could have moved it just a bit further down. Using the bushes just so I can well, basically hide myself. Try and take pot shots at whatever I can. So I track him, but he disappears behind a building, so I decide that I can put a shot through the building to expose him. Not just for myself, but hopefully for other people as well.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
And the gun was actually accurate that time, so I decided that, look, I've been spotted, I need to kind of back up now because there's nobody else further forward than I am. And you don't want a tank destroying the front line, so I'm backing up hastily. When an M3 Lee pops up. So I'm in cover, I'm in position. Can probably take this guy. There we go.
We've got them.
Big target, hard to miss.
That's gotta hurt.
Now he gets finished by the Hetzer. So again, I'm still the furthest forward. None of my teammates behind me seem to want to move up, so I am going to back off as soon as I can.
We've hit them hard.
These American tank destroyers are a real threat, they're so quick.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Fortunately, I lead him correctly and the gun doesn't miss and I take him down. Take a small hit from somebody, 42 hit points, don't really know what that is. Potentially arty splash, but I decide that, you know, this is not the best place to be anymore. So I keep backing up. Panzer IV pushes up on his own. I'll try and warn him in chat, it's probably not a good idea because we don't really know what's over there. And now we do. It's KV-1. One of their top tanks. So I move back to try and get an angle on him, but he helps me out by actually moving to the side of that building. There we go. And there he appears. See a lot of KV-1s in this tank destroyer. So he fires at me, but he got eaten by my tracks, and I took another hit. Again, a low damage hit, so I don't know what that was. Down to about half hit points now, so I'm just trying to put a bush between myself and the KV-1. But he seems to have lost interest in me, and he's now been tracked, showing me his side, so I'll take full advantage of that. I think I've disappeared to him. He's ignoring me. To his cost. Right, so keep backing up. Always thinking about the arty. Very close game. I decided that I'm going to put it in the bushes here so I can cover both the east side and also the northern approach as well. As you can see, it's not the fastest tank, but it's okay. I don't think I've got the top radio on this tank either, so I'm not fully aware of what the score is on the minimap. The artillery's firing at something, I assume he's not blind firing, so maybe he can see something I can't. I realise that also my position here is a bit crap. As you can see, people come from the north will be able to put in shots into my side and rear. So I decided to pull back to this line of bushes behind me. And I do so really in the nick of time. Match is still quite close. Could go either way still. Sure enough, here comes a Panzer IV. Its health is right down, so I should be able to one-shot him if I do get a hit.
They're knocked down.
Which I do, fortunately. I don't think he would have spotted me, but nevertheless, I moved just to be on the safe side. There's a Churchill, and Churchill is their best player, so really a priority.
Penetration.
He's tracked, but he sees me,
Penetration.
so I want to try and finish him quick. But a Churchill can fire every 2 or 3 seconds.
One of our tracks
It's not the sort of fight I want to get into, so I back up. And I just managed to bounce his last shot at me. I think I've disappeared because I think he fired blind then. So I actually find this ridge is perfect for my height.
right through their armor.
Punch another couple of shots into him
Got him.
and finish him off. So the pressure's definitely off now. We've got the momentum. 3 of their tanks are left. One of which is a Somua S-35, like myself. And there he is. But he's behind a building, I can't get a line of sight to him. I'm not sure if he's behind a building in the front or the back, so I just put a speculative shot into the front building there. Don't have to wait for long though.
Looks like that one went right through.
2 shots, and he's down.
Got him.
See how good this 17-pounder gun is considering it's stock. I can't think of a tank with a better stock gun than this one. Just brilliant. So left with artillery and a medium. Got no idea where the medium is. I've not seen it on the map at any point. But I realise that I've got to push up. It's just me and the arty now. I check to see if the arty is awake and paying attention. Doesn't reply. I pick right. Here's the medium. He's damaged enough so I can just get 1 hit and he goes down. I think I probably could have finished him if I needed to. I think I had just enough hit points left to take 1 hit from him. So just the arty left now. Got no idea where it is, but I'm going to head towards their cap because it makes sense. Maybe I'll get lucky. Take slow climb to the top of the hill. As you see, it's not the fastest tank in the world, but it depends what you've been used to. If you're mainly medium player, this is going to kill you, but it's alright. Sure enough, there's the arty. Smoke makes my FPS a bit crap, unfortunately. So he stops for some reason. Maybe he spotted our arty. He disappears by putting a blind shot because he's tracked.
Enemy armor is
And sure
destroyed.
enough, that does the job. I managed to bag myself 8 kills and a top gun, which isn't really bad for a bathtub with a stock gun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe it's inspired you to buy a Somua S-35 for yourself and give it a spin. Anyway, my name's been Bug Powder Dust. I'll catch you next time.